I'm Jimmy Reynolds. I'm from Jackson, Alabama. The first real estate deal I did using Joe Crump's technique was a house in Jackson, Alabama. It was actually 3 houses on one property, and we just made it a package deal. But it worked out very well, and the people that have it are just elated, and so is the seller. I made $6,600. It was a little more difficult as far as being hard work. I wouldn't say that, but it took a little bit more time because you have to walk before you can run. And there were a lot of things that I knew from Joe's class and course, but I didn't know how to implement it as well. So those things kind of come together. The more you do it, the more you learn, and the easier it is. The last house I did, from the date I put the sign in the yard, it took 2 weeks to get a buyer, and it was signed, sealed, and delivered. I found out about Joe's program through the internet. I was searching, I'm sure. I don't recall the exact details, but Joe is pretty good about answering email. And we emailed back and forth for probably 6 months until I got to the point where it got a little bit more interesting and times got a little bit tougher in real estate. And then we talked on the phone a few times, and as they say, the rest is history. I am a licensed broker in the state of Alabama. I started the program about a year ago, and I didn't really pursue it as quickly as I should because I'm still doing real estate, but I was focused more on that, and I'm actually doing better financially with Joe's program than I'm doing in standard real estate. The best event so far was a house that had been totally remodeled. It looked like a brand new house. It sat on 7 acres of land outside a little community called Thomasville, Alabama. And I went through several people kind of fine-tuning and making sure they would fit. And I found a couple that had moved in from Louisiana, and they just fell in love with the house. But I structured it in a way where they are actually paying me $10,000, and I'm getting them credit for $15,000 on the price of the house and getting the seller what he wanted. They're happy, the seller's happy, and I'm happy. To retire, my ultimate goal is to make enough money to not have to worry about it. It's constant now, like probably everybody in the country, or most people in the country, have some issue with finances in this economy. And, you know, I've got several whys. The biggest one is a granddaughter. And I want her taken care of, and that's why I do it. How big I want the business to grow is kind of subjective. I want it to grow to a point where it will continue to grow itself, and my family can reap the benefits after I'm gone. That's the goal. I think it's great. I went through a lot to get my broker's license, and you don't have to do that. Broker's license will help you in certain cases because it's a fine line on what you tell someone. You don't want to violate the law. If you are a real estate agent as well, you're covered on both ends of that, but it's not something that you have to do. I probably was qualified to become an attorney by the time I got my broker's license, because it's just amazing what you go through. But it's something that the average person does not need to do. They can go through Joe's class and not become a real estate agent. And as long as they do it the way Joe teaches, they'll never get in trouble, and they'll make the same amount of money that I would make. I think anybody that is tired of working, that wants to retire and still make money, this is a great opportunity. I don't see the housing market getting any better within the next 2 to 3 years due to foreclosures and short sales. And I think this niche will continue for a long time to come. And there's money to be made. And one reason I do this too is not just for the money. It helps people. People that would be doomed to renting an apartment forever and never having anything left but a handful of rent receipts at the end of the year. These people want to own a home. It gives them an opportunity they wouldn't otherwise have.